wash your hands.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Mrs. C's Kitchen. Today I'm going to teach you how to make meatballs with the tangy glaze sauce with a touch of heat to it. And I don't know about you, but I really like meatballs. And you can pair it with some pasta, or you can eat them by themselves, or you could put them on a piece of French bread and make a meatball sandwich. There's all kinds of things you can do with these meatballs. So let's get going. Hi guys. So I want to go over some of the ingredients, well, all of the ingredients you're going to be using for this recipe. And one is you're going to use about a pound of hamburger meat. You could also use turkey meat. You can also combine it with hamburger and veal and pork, however you want to do it. But right here, I have a pound of hamburger meat. You also want some fresh garlic, about a half an onion, depending on how much you like onion, about 3/4 cup of milk, some salt, of course, to bring out all those flavors. I'm going to use some pepper as well. I like to add a little bit of garlic pepper for just a little extra. You're going to use a little bit of soy sauce today, 2 eggs, about a cup of breadcrumbs, and I'm using garlic herb breadcrumbs today. Of course, some honey, and the star of the show, and something that I absolutely love is tomato ketchup with a black simmer truffle. So I call it truffle ketchup. You find this at Trader Joe's, and this is the kicker. And of course a jalapeno, which I have to run to the store and get. I don't have it at this moment, but we're gonna use a jalapeno as well. All right, hi guys. So we're gonna use some non-stick foil. In a lot of my videos, you'll notice I use non-stick foil a lot. It really helps with the cleanup. So we're gonna use a jelly roll pan, baking sheet, whatever you want to call it. Both will work. It's got a real small lip on it. And we're gonna line it with this non-stick foil. Hi guys. So first thing we're gonna do is in a large bowl, you're gonna combine the milk and you're gonna combine the eggs. So I always like to crack my eggs in a separate bowl first to make sure they're quality eggs and there isn't any problem. Don't get any shells in there. So I'm gonna crack my eggs in this small little bowl, and then I'm gonna add it to my milk. But before I add it to the milk, well, once I add it to the milk, like so, now I'm gonna wash my hands with hot soapy water. Very, very important after you handle eggs to wash your hands because of salmonella poisoning. So I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. My wire whisk, and I'm gonna whisk the eggs with the milk and combine that thoroughly. Time to chop the onion. So I'm gonna take a chef knife, I'm gonna put my onion on the flat side, I'm gonna curl my fingers, and I'm gonna slice through like so. Once I slice all the way through, I'm gonna go the other direction and slice through some more so that it's thoroughly chopped. You don't wanna really mince it, but you do wanna make sure it's chopped pretty well. So you don't want big pieces like that. So you wanna chop all that up and try not to cry. Now I'm gonna add this onion into my egg and milk mixture. And my breadcrumbs, about a cup of breadcrumbs right into there. Add a couple pinches of salt, just a couple pinches, not too much. And a little bit of pepper. Penze's pepper is the best. Give it a try. I'm also gonna add a little bit of garlic, about a teaspoon of garlic. Now I'm gonna add the meat. I'm gonna kind of break it all up in my hands. And this is where it kind of gets messy because you kind of need to use your hands for this part. So I'm going to break it all up, and then I'm just going to fold it in with my hands. Just keep folding it till it's thoroughly combined in with the meat. Now I've got an issue because as I'm doing this, my hands are getting really dirty. So how the heck am I going to turn off my video? I didn't think that one through, did I? Ooh, should I elbow it? Now it's time to make the meatballs. So I'm gonna take my scoop, and so that they're all the same size, so use my scoop and kind of form them with my hand and then place them on the cookie sheet. And I'm gonna do this until I make them all. Then I'm gonna pop them into the oven at 425 and let those bake up. Correction, I'm gonna bake them at about 400 degrees for about 12 minutes. Then I'm gonna take them out while I'm making the glaze. I'm gonna put them in the crock pot and let them go on like low heat for a few hours and inside with the glaze over them. And I'll show you how to make the glaze next. Oh boy, my phone's getting filthy. So the meatballs are in the oven and they're gonna cook there for about maybe 12-15 minutes. I'm gonna check on them. I'm gonna get the crock pot out, but meanwhile I'm gonna make this glaze that's gonna go on top of them, and it gives it kind of a sweet yet a little bit of a kick to it. So it really creates a really yummy meatball. The only problem is I don't have any jalapeno right now. Mr. Califano is gonna run to the market on his lunch break and bring me home a jalapeno. So I'm gonna add the jalapeno later, once it's in the crock pot, just to give it that kick later on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do everything else but the jalapeno. But this is kind of a good lesson because sometimes, you know, you don't have everything or you're just missing an ingredient, but you can always improvise. You have to be creative in the kitchen. That's why they call it an art. So I'm gonna improvise, I'm gonna do everything else but the jalapeno. And some of you may not even want the jalapeno because it does, you know, give a little kick. I like the kick to it, but you guys may not. So you can just do this part only. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of butter to my pot. So I'm gonna show you my pot real quick. I can get this thing right. Oh, let me see, this is just, can you see it? There's the pot. Okay, so there's the pot. I'm gonna add this butter. Notice the pot was already hot, so I turn on the pot and get it hot so that butter will sizzle real good. I've got it on about a medium-high heat, and I'm gonna add some garlic to this now. I'm about 2 tablespoons of garlic that I already have chopped up. I'm gonna let that cook, and now I'm gonna add my truffle ketchup to this, and I'm gonna add the whole jar because I love this stuff. And I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so amazing. So I'm gonna just stir that up. Oopsie. Stir that up a little bit, and you can see that garlic in there. And I'm gonna add a little bit of soy sauce now. So about a tablespoon of soy sauce. I'm gonna add that now. And you guys might wanna measure that up because you don't wanna add too much soy sauce because it has a lot of salt. So you don't wanna add too much. And now I'm gonna add my honey. So let me get that. My goodness, I'm a sticky mess. So here's my honey. And you're gonna add about a half a cup of honey to this mixture. And so like I said, it gives you that sweet, tangy, yet with a little bit of kick. And this glaze is the best. Now, the recipe calls for just regular ketchup, but my daughter's good friend told me about the truffle ketchup, and I just think it makes all the difference in the world with this sauce. They're ready. Hi guys. So I have my meatballs here, and I'm just gonna very carefully put them into the crock pot, and they will finish the cooking process in the crock pot. I put them in the oven on a high heat to give them that little bit of crunch on the outside that we so much love, but at the same time we need to get them thoroughly cooked on the inside. So I'm just gonna load up my crock pot, and then I'll show you how to pour the glaze. Hi guys. So the meatballs are loaded into the crock pot. I have my honey, garlic, glaze without the jalapeno, because Mr. Califano still hasn't brought back that jalapeno to me. So I'm gonna just pour this over and then add the jalapeno later on. And I'm gonna just pour it completely over the meatballs and coat each one the best that I can and put it on low for about 4 hours. Hi guys. So today I'm going to take you out into my garden. So I'm gonna grab my harvesting basket and we're gonna go out into my yard and we're going to learn how to make some bruschetta today. And I'm gonna use virtually almost everything from my garden. Let's go. So I'm out in my yard and I'm gonna come over here into my garden over here and I'm gonna pick myself some oregano. So I have a little bit of oregano right here, which is a wonderful Italian herb. And we're gonna use some oregano in our bruschetta. Then we're gonna come on over here and I'm going to look for, oh, the pomegranates are coming, but not quite ready. So we're gonna come through here. I'm gonna come over here to my garden where I keep all my tomatoes and I'm gonna pick some tomatoes here. You guys see that okay? Probably making you a little dizzy. There we go. So I'm gonna pick some tomatoes here. So tomatoes are a big part of bruschetta and we all know that. So I'm gonna get a few tomatoes here and add them to my basket. I'm putting a mixture of all different types of tomatoes. I've got some Roma, I've got some little tiny orange and yellow tomatoes. I've got some beefsteak, but I'm just gonna combine them all and use them all. Another main ingredient in bruschetta is basil. So I've got some, oh, that smells so good. I've got some basil here. And I'm gonna pick a bunch of that and we're gonna use that, whoa, in my bruschetta as well. So I've got a basket full of goodness and wow, this is gonna be, you guys, I just wish I could give you all a mouthful of this. And you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the bruschetta and then just toss it in my pasta. And it'll be so yummy with those meatballs I made. So first things first, I've got to wash all this stuff because it's been in my yard and, you know, creepy crawly things have been crawling on it, probably some snails, who knows. So we're going to wash it all thoroughly first. So now I've washed all the basil and now you're just going to pluck the leaves off of each stem. And this could be a little time consuming, but well worth it because you don't want those stems in your bruschetta. So with the tomatoes, you're gonna wash those really well. You're gonna cut them in half and then take those seeds out. Place the tomato on the flat side and then just chop it. Chop it all up into little, actually gonna dice it into little pieces. So I have the tomatoes all chopped up and I put them in this bowl right here. And now I'm going to add the garlic to the bowl. Add some garlic. And I'm adding a couple tablespoons of garlic.